Diddy trial is almost over. The government has reached the end of its case, so let's break down how they're trying to prove one of the most serious charges. RICO. To prove RICO, the government has to show three things. One, that there was a criminal enterprise. Two, that Diddy was a part of it. And three, that he committed at least two predicate acts to advance or protect it. First, they're accusing him of building a network of assistants, bodyguards, and staff to carry out illegal acts for him, which is why we heard from a number of his personal assistants. Now, there were no official ranks, but it seemed that the government was trying to prove that the assistants would get their instructions from KK, Christina Quorum, his chief of staff, and also his bodyguards would be the ones to handle any cash to pay for the drugs or the escorts. Now let's talk about the predicate acts, the crimes that hold this RICO charge together. And remember, the government only needs to prove that two of these occurred. First is sex trafficking, and the government had their star witness, Cassie, lay the groundwork, saying Diddy coerced her into these sex acts with male escorts while he watched to satisfy his sexual desires. Cassie testified that she was coerced to do these freak-offs through drugs, acts of violence, blackmail, and threats to her reputation or career. Then there was victim number two, Jane, who essentially said the same thing. She says that she was introduced to freak-offs through Diddy under the guise of a relationship, was coerced through drugs and financial manipulation. Jane testified that if she refused to do the freak-offs, Diddy would threaten to stop paying her rent and she would lose her housing. Another big thing that the government set out to prove was to show that the lines were often blurred between personal and business, with assistants setting up hotel rooms and booking travel for the male escorts. And there's bribery, and the government had Eddie Garcia, who was a security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel, testify. That's a hotel where Diddy is seen violently assaulting Cassie on surveillance video. And Eddie testified that the morning of the assault, he gets a call not only from Christina Quorum, but from Diddy himself, asking to get a copy of that tape. Eventually, Eddie Garcia testified that Diddy paid $100,000 for that copy. Then there's kidnapping, and that's where Diddy's former employee, Capricorn Clark, comes in. Capricorn Clark testified that while she was working for Diddy, she was accused of stealing jewelry and was taken by his employees to a dilapidated building on and off for 5 days, strapped to a lie detector test. She was told she'd be thrown into the East River if she failed. And then again, a few years later, Capricorn said that Diddy showed up to her door with a gun, demanding that she get into the car so that they can confront Kid Cudi. Next is drug distribution. Several assistants said that they were tasked with purchasing, organizing, and carrying drugs for Diddy. Several witnesses testified to regular drug use, ecstasy, cocaine, ketamine, GHB. Importantly, Cassie and Jane said that they were given drugs, particularly ecstasy, so that they can engage in these freak-offs, with Cassie saying she eventually became dependent on them. Then we have forced labor. And that's where victim number 4, Diddy's former assistant who testified under the name Mia, comes in. Mia also testified working long hours for Diddy and staying up for days. She says she eventually moved into his home so she could be at his beck and call, and was cut off from seeing family and friends and couldn't leave. She also said that she feared what would happen if she said no. Mia also testified that Diddy was violent and also sexually assaulted her. The government told the judge that they plan on wrapping up their case today. Then the defense said they need 2 days to present their case, so we could be hearing closing arguments as soon as the end of this week.
What is really going on with the Diddy trial? Because y'all, it looks like we're heading towards the final chapter, and it's giving serious heat. The RICO charges, the silence from Diddy's camp, and the eerie calm in the media. Ooh, let's get into it. Hey guys, and welcome back to Sibby React, your go-to spot for real talk and raw reactions. And today, we're diving headfirst into the near end of the Sean Diddy Combs saga, a trial that has the whole industry holding its breath. So let's talk facts first. We've watched this case evolve from scattered accusations to federal raids to RICO charges. Y'all, yes, you have heard that RICO, that's not some celebrity slap on the wrist charge. That's what they used on mob bosses, drug kingpins, and criminal networks, and now it's got Diddy's name on it. I mean, how did we get even here? From bad boy records to alleged bad behavior, Diddy has been in the spotlight for decades. But recently, all the glitter seems to be pulling off. Witnesses, lawsuits, sealed files, NDAs being cracked open like boiled eggs. It's messy, and now that the trial is closing to wrapping up, everybody's asking the same thing. Will Diddy walk free, or is this the fall of a music empire? And you know what's crazy? The silence. Diddy hasn't done a sit-down interview. No statements, no public defense, just a few Instagram stories, a couple of deep quotes, and boom, he's gone ghost. Meanwhile, the prosecution is stacking receipts like it's tax season. Let's talk about the RICO angle from a second. If they prove Diddy was part of an ongoing criminal enterprise, not just individual bad choices, but an actual organized pattern of illegal behavior, then this ain't about music anymore. This is about federal prison, long term. And y'all, the people turning on him, the inner circle, isn't circling anymore. Some of the very few folks that used to praise him are distancing themselves like he's radioactive. The industry is quiet. The endorsements vanished. And if this trial really is almost over, we might be on the verge of one of the biggest takedowns in entertainment history. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to convict the man before the jury does. But if these RICO charges stick, Diddy could, from music mogul to intimate number something something, real fast. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this justice catching up? Is it all too convenient? Or is Diddy about to pull one last disappearing act and walk away clean? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that subscribe button if you want the real takes without the fluff. Because around here, we say it like we see it. Catch you in the next one. Stay real, stay woke.